As a soul that goes by the name Daniel, I found out in the past years that, in essence, I'm a spiritual being going through a physical adventure and not the other way around.
Ik ben zo blij dat ik dit boek heb mogen vertalen, want dit is gedachtegoed dat ieder mens op deze aardkloot kan gebruiken. Het gaat over universele karaktereigenschappen, weliswaar in een joods jasje, maar de karaktereigenschappen hebben we allemaal.
I was 47 years old. My life had gone very, very well. I had and still have the same wife who we've been married for 41 years. Then it wasn't 41 years then, but we had a very good life and good education and 2 wonderful children, and life was very good. And then all of a sudden, at age 47, I didn't know what life was about. The Mussar tradition has existed in the Jewish world for about 1,000 years. And in that time, the subject of study has been human life. As we've watched generation after generation, we've had wise people studying to say, how does a person live the best possible life? And what they've concluded is that our spiritual nature is our greatest potential. And the life we've been given is where we find the pathway so that we can walk step by step, meeting the challenges of life, and in every one of those challenges, choosing the higher possibility and growing and learning and changing to become the person who is the full realized potential of who we are, which is to be a holy soul living and walking in this world, within this world as we live it, but in a higher holy way. You need a healthy body. But the healthy body is towards a goal. You need all these pieces. They're all good. They're part of the world. They're not to be rejected. The Jewish notion of holiness is not to go out to a cave in the mountains. It's not to reject this world. It's to put this world to work, because this world contains the resources that we need in order to go on the journey towards holiness. But we should know what the goal is. And the goal is holiness. The goal is spiritual elevation.
Dit boek, dit is de leidraad die men kan gebruiken om te groeien. En het mooiste is om dat te doen met een groep. Dat gaan we vanmiddag ook ervaren. Want daardoor wordt de ervaring gedeeld met anderen. En het gaat er uiteindelijk om dat we allemaal één zijn.
The goals of Mussar. The goals of Mussar in a general sense are 2. Kedusha and Shlemut. Kedusha means holiness, Shlemut means wholeness.
Het is dan wel uit een joodse bron afkomstig, maar Mussar is geen religie. Het gaat over universele karaktereigenschappen. Karaktereigenschappen die ieder mens heeft.
Yisrael Salanter said that the point of studying Mussar is to bring together the mind that thinks with the heart that feels and identifies with things.
And it's an amazing thing to realize that that is a theme running through Judaism. That's a theme of what Judaism is meant to do. And as I pointed out, Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur are just indicators of the importance of personal change in Judaism. It's important to say, personal change, yes, but not for the sake of yourself.
En het makkelijkste is als je in het leven bent door ongeveer in het midden van die karaktereigenschappen te zitten. Want dan breng je hoofd, hart en handelen met elkaar in overeenstemming. En nu wil ik Ellen, I want to invite you to receive the first book. Ellen, it's my great pleasure to have you here in Amsterdam and to hand you over this first book. And if it's difficult for you to read in Dutch, I can translate it
into English.
Yes.
It would be interesting to see if it came back into English as the same way as it went out of English.
Well, that's be interesting.
ongeveer 10 jaar geleden. Een hele heftige tijd voor Amsterdam. De moord van Theo van Gogh. Een vriend van mij die ik van mijn jeugd kende, die overleed. Mijn relatie lag op duigen. En ik dacht, waar gaat dit allemaal om, dit leven? En wie is nou eigenlijk de baas? Ben ik de baas over mijn emoties of zijn de emoties mij de baas? Maar de vraag van wie is de baas over de emoties? Nou, daar ben ik wel achter. Dat ben je zelf. En dat is wel iets wat Mussar mij in ieder geval gegeven heeft. Ik ben heel blij met het boek. Dankjewel, Harry.
The Jewish tradition affirms very strongly that we can change. That's what Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur are all about. That next year you should not do the same things that you did last year that caused trouble to you and to other people and to your relationships. That we can change. And the Rambam says, he says, only the fools among the non-Jews and the golems among the Jews. If you know what a golem is, it's like not quite a human being. He says the golems of the Jews believe that a person cannot change. And now we have the lessons from neuropsychology saying that the brain is plastic. That as you do certain things, you develop new neuronal pathways, your brain starts to develop new pathways, and the neurons link together and create new brain structures, and your brain physically changes. So that if you do, and we haven't described it yet, but the nature of Mussar practice, at least in theory, it is affirmed that we can change.
Mensen, hoe verschillend zij ook zijn, kunnen alleen maar met elkaar leven en communiceren als ze zichzelf verheffen tot een niveau om met een ander te kunnen communiceren en te leven. Jezelf, ofwel je nefesh, verheffen, een steeds beter mens worden en zo het intermenselijk contact niet alleen meer mogelijk maken, maar ook elkaar beter leren begrijpen, loutert elk individu, maar ook elke gemeenschap.
And to give one practical example, it's so common in our very fast-paced, busy world that people are impatient. They can't wait for this, they can't wait for that. Everything has to be so instant, and people are suffering because of their impatience. If a person realizes that they can learn how to be patient, then they not only learn patience, which helps them in their everyday life, but they clear away an obstacle that's standing in the way of really reaching your spiritual potential.